Louisville, Kentucky. We haven't done a live stream in a week. We went to the FEST for Beatle fans over the weekend in Chicago. There's the brochure one more time. We had a good time. Met a lot of people. A couple shout outs. Met Mickey Arugula in Chicago and Joe Mayo. We sat down and chatted about an hour in the cafe late on Friday night. Met up with Marvin, did a little short with him. He's a pretty nice guy. He watches my channel and knew quite a lot about it. Jeff Osberger spent some time in his big memorabilia room, and he had the insights and backstories of anything you talked about in Beatles memorabilia. He's a walking encyclopedia about Beatles memorabilia. Eric Cash, we went into his display where he paints all these paintings, and we won this one here in the auction. He's got an autograph, Eric Cash. I thought that's a pretty cool painting of the Beatles arriving in America February 7th of 1964.
It's painted.
Mm-hmm. The import room, I didn't write his name down. We talked to him. He had Beatles singles and albums from all over the world.
It was Dave something.
I think it's Dave, starts with an R. And the big thing, Rachel's Ghost said that we will do a interview with Mikey Arugula and me next Wednesday, August 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My idea is to do a Beatles roundtable, Beatles memorabilia roundtable video or live stream.
David Rush.
David Rush, that's the one that has the import room. So we're going to each bring 5 Holy Grail Beatles memorabilia items and each take turns showing them and telling the backstory of them. Bob Bradley did a great video and promoted my channel on the Magical Mystery Tour of Germany he got from me. And yes, John Hood, I got you another one lined up coming in the mail. The 1977 All True Stereo, the best audiophile pressing of any Beatles album that exists in the world of Magical Mystery Tour. He did about an 8-minute video on it and showed me in some clips, and he was pretty impressed by that pressing. When he put that up, I got like 50 new subscribers in 24 hours, the most I've ever got in 24 hours. All right, some other shout outs. Chapel Roan, some of you heard of her. 26-year-old. She is going to be the next superstar in the music industry. When I was younger, I saw Madonna in 1985 with the Beastie Boys opening up, and that was pretty amazing. I saw Prince on his first Purple Rain tour, and I was right up front, and he was up just right above me on the monitor. He was shredding that guitar. He was pretty amazing. But I think Chapel Roan is going to end up in the superstar status here pretty shortly, if she isn't already there. She's got the number 3 album in the top 100. Number 2 is Kanye West's new album with the Vultures 2. But I think Chapel will pass that up, and just a matter of whether she can outsell Taylor Swift here in the next month. That'll be a tough thing. But Chapel Roan has 7 singles in the top 100. And they're expecting another song that off of her album to be in the top 100 next week. So that'll be 8.
You didn't mention Tom from Beatles Pro.
Oh, Tom from Beatles Pro. Yeah, we met up with him several times. And the little backstory on Joe Mayo's butcher cover that he received as a present from Tom Beatles Pro. That is one that I peeled a while ago, and Tom won it in my last 1,000 subscriber giveaway. He answered all 3 difficult questions. He was the first one. All right. A big holy grail went off on eBay tonight. Introducing the Beatles stereo add-back in excellent condition. There's only about 20 of them in the world that are still in decent condition. It was sitting at $1,200 with 1 minute to go. I put in my best bid with about 3 seconds, and I ended up winning it for $2,855. Thought that was a bargain. Perry Cox did a whole evaluation, and he thought it was worth $5,000 to $7,000. So if the buyer doesn't back out on it, I got a pretty good deal on it. This will be my 6th introducing the Beatles stereo add-back I've owned in my lifetime. We did made some deals there at the FEST for Beatle Fans with my Mexico buyers, and I ended up spending the profit on some new speakers when I got back.
You mean Christian?
Christian and Annular. I don't know how you say this yet. Clips, Heresy, speakers. I listened to Beatles for Sale today, a few tracks, Led Zeppelin 2, and Rolling Stones Aftermath UK pressing. And these speakers definitely improved the sound of my Thorns TD 320 turntable with my Yamaha natural sound receiver from the 70s. We got to see Mickey Dolenz and Billy J. Kramer in concert on Saturday night. Mickey Dolenz did 2 Beatles songs, did Rocky Raccoon and Oh Darlin', and finished up with Johnny B. Good. And we saw Mickey walk through the hotel when we first got there, and he looked like a fragile old man, just gingerly walking. But when he got up on stage, his voice is amazing. If he's 78 or whatever it is, he gave it his all. And Paul McCartney would be smart sometime to have Mickey Dolenz sing Oh Darlin' in one of his shows. He does a great version of it.
Daniel Castillo said, would have gone to Beatles Fest, but August 10th was my birthday.
Oh.
Happy late birthday.
All right.
Happy late birthday.
You say it's your birthday, you're going to have a good time.
No.
Billy J. Kramer opened up with his new song about Liverpool, but then he went right into Bad to Me, the song I love that John Lennon wrote for Billy J. Kramer in 1964. I think it went to #1 here in the United States. And let's see, I did all my shout outs. Also with my speakers, I bought, they recommended a magnetic tape that I get a VPI 16.5 record cleaner machine. And I got one on eBay that'll be coming here in a few days, so I can keep my Led Zeppelin 2s and my Abbey Roads in tip-top shape. One yesterday from Colleen in Ohio, I won the Beatles Are Coming promo stickers, the first promotional item made in the United States on the Beatles. I got 3 of them coming in perfect shape with the backing on them. I have 2 more butcher covers coming. I have a #3 East Coast and a #6. They're both second states. West Coast #6 with the butcher cover peeking through all the way on the left edge. Mickey Arugula says that he has one like that. I think that's pretty cool where the butcher cover's peeking through on the left side, the whole left edge, because they were putting the trunk slicks on so quick that they didn't always cover them up completely.
Jack Thomas asked, how many dealers were there at Beatle Fest?
Dealers, they were maybe 5 at the most. Rockaway Records and Rick Rand had the best 2 booths. Jeff Osberger was selling some in his room, and the import man was selling some, which his name is again
David Rush.
David Rush.
KRWD,
Rich.
Rich said, hi Frank, when you use the drying function on the VP, don't leave the vacuum arm on the record too long.
All right, thanks, Rich, for giving me some pointers. I guess you have one like that. A couple other notes. Burning Man concert is always sold out the last 10 years right away, and this year it hadn't sold out, and it's happening in 2 weeks. I don't know if it's because of the heat or because of bad publicity they had last year, but the Burning Man concert in Nevada is not sold out this year. And some songs I played on the music system today that really got my attention. They played Under My Thumb. This is a UK original stereo pressing from 1966 with a flip on the side. And this is an all true stereo. This is the first Rolling Stones album that is an all true stereo. Or most of it is. The songs I played on side 1 where I played Mother's Little Helper, and I played Under My Thumb, and I played Out of Time on side 2. I love the song Out of Time.
Me too.
So on Under My Thumb, no, it's, yeah. Under My Thumb, you can really see where Brian Jones was real creative in the Rolling Stones process when he was in 1966, before he got all messed up. Heard Glad All Over again today. That song just has so much energy. By Dave Clark 5. I have another all true stereo pressing coming from 1970 in the UK. Amazing pressing of the Dave Clark 5. Couple other things. I heard Silly Love Songs today, a song I never liked that much when it came out. That over time, that and listen to What the Man Said is really a timeless song from Paul McCartney. Different types of styles. Heard Jesse's Girl today by Rick Springfield, and he's the one that has the Butcher prototype that used to belong to John Lennon. And he paid $220,000 in an auction to win it, and he says he'll never sell it.
You forgot something.
What did I forget?
Your good
Good
deeds.
deed. I helped a couple to the car today with their online order they had of $400. A lot of canned vegetables and hamburger helpers. Helped them put it in their car.
Yep. Good deed.
All right, let's start showing some. You guys got any questions? Won some things in the auction in the ballroom on Beatle Fest for Beatle fans. I have this 1986 hand signed by Alastair Taylor. He was called Mr. Fix-It at Apple Records. They gave him a lot of jobs to when he's working at Apple there. And this note from 1986 says, Dear Joan, thank you for your letter dated June 1st. I'm afraid, however, that I can add nothing to your knowledge of Brian's house in Sussex, as there is no other address. The address are exactly as you have it, and the only suggestion is that I make when you get to Heathfield, you can ask for Kingsley Hill. There certainly is no to the house, only a name. I must tell you that I never ever went to the house. Brian bought it only weeks before his death, and it was a very private retreat. And though I like to think that one day I might well have visited, I never did. May I wish you well and good hunting. Never stop being a Beatles fan. So I got on the eBay last night to see if I could find the ad where Mr. Taylor is playing all those instruments, and when they were promoting Apple Records in 1968, and he says now this man owns a Bentley. I could not find that ad. I need to have that ad to sell with this autograph. All right. Where are we gonna go? We'll get the butcher covers out of the way.
You wasn't showing everything you bought.
Oh yeah, we're on the auction.
Yeah, I thought you were on the auction.
Got this. I won 4 things in a row in the auction. I won those autographs.
Thompson Rubbers is a
I won this complete set of factory sealed albums in the ballroom auction. It's only missing Yellow Submarine. These are late 70s pressing, probably on the purple label. All factory sealed. Meet the Beatles. Beatles' second album. Hard Day's Night on Capitol Records. Something New. Beatles Story. Beatles 65. Early Beatles. Beatles 6.
Ooh,
Help.
ooh.
What noises are you making there? Rubber Soul. The Trunk Slick Yesterday and Today. No, there's no butchers underneath these. Only in 66. First pressings. Revolver. Sgt. Pepper. Magical Mystery Tour. The White Album. Abbey Road. I got a UK Abbey Road to show later. Let It Be. And Hey Jude.
Brad Parnell said Andy, Tom, and Kit went live earlier and recapped all they did in Chicago. They said Mr. Mean Mayo got a butcher cover.
I told the story on that.
Mean
He got one that I gave to Tom, Beatles Pro, but Tom already had several nice ones. And he gave me and Mr. Mayo one as a present for meeting him up in Chicago.
Ooh.
Got this 1966 in the auction, unused concert ticket. I know there's a lot of these that exist for Suffolk Downs in 1966. It didn't sell very many tickets, and so they had like 20,000 extra tickets. The white's pretty common, but I thought it was pretty neat to get a blue one. I won one other thing in the auction. What was it?
Post it to you. Whatever was it? Oh, it was a picture behind you.
Yeah. The Eric Cash sign, the newest painting he has of the Beatles arriving in America. Kevin from Kevin Records gave us this today to show this poster showing the Beatles when they were recording Rubber Soul. Hopefully we're getting a Rubber Soul box set, deluxe box set, remix box set at the end of the year. All right, let's get the books. That's what I want in the auction.
You didn't want me nothing.
So my Mexican buyers bought this, obligated to buy this when I met them at the FEST for Beatle Fans. This is my near mint I showed in the last one. My butcher cover, number 3, East Coast. And Perry Cox is going to give me a COA on this, saying that it's near mint because the Christian asked for that. That's the removed trunk slick. And the deal was with Perry, he's not going to charge me for the COA, but he's going to sell this on consignment for me. This is a rare interview of Lee Allen, A Trip to Miami. You can find these, but to find one that's hardly been played from 1964 is pretty impossible. So you bought this original leaflet that explains the whole story,
Up a little, lift it up a little.
and you receive the record free. It says on the record, it says, a free item for private use only. The last one of these I had in near mint had the mailing flyer from the Detroit station, radio station he worked at, and it sold for $1,500. So this is going to go up. Perry Cox going to put this up on auction. The backstory is on this that Lee Allen decided on a Saturday night in early February that he was going to play an hour of Beatles, and the radio calls were off the hook, and he didn't understand what all the mania was about. So he traveled to Miami when the Beatles were vacationing for the second appearance on Ed Sullivan in Miami, and the Beatles gave their only interview they did that week to Lee Allen.
Jack Ryan said, what's your favorite item you're showing today?
Favorite item?
Yeah, that you're showing today.
This is pretty cool, even though Kevin from Kevin Records thinks this is not authentic. I think it's authentic.
I think it's cool. He's a hater.
My little minis Rolling Stones record player. I'll play it at the end. It's got Spanish and English writing on directions on the back. 3 batteries make it work. The record goes around, but it's not really playing it. It must have a little micro cassette player inside the mini record player.
Jack Ryan said nice, and Shane.
If you look this up and Google search it, this item, promo item, doesn't exist, so it's got to be rare as hen's teeth.
Shane Rocky said, new to the channel, hello from Ohio.
All right, Ohio. I used to live in Ohio. I'm a tri-state, lived in Indiana, Ohio, and now Kentucky.
Do the last one.
John Hood said that Stones record player is cool, in all capitals.
Yeah, it is very cool. John Hood, I got your Magical Mystery Tour I bought today. Made a deal on it. So you better start putting $200 away for it. And your UK RAM 1U is coming in a few days. So hopefully you save some pennies. All right, talked about the butcher cover. We were talking with Mickey Arugula and Joe Mayo late at night at the cafe for about an hour. And all of a sudden I got some taps on my shoulder, and it was the 2 Mexican buyers wanting to buy this butcher cover. They have bought 7 butcher covers from me in the last 2 months.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As Elvis would say, thank you very much. This is the one I did last night. Somebody had pulled the corner off to see if it was a butcher cover, and so I could not get through that one corner. And there's a few tears there on John Lennon's head. Still came out pretty good. Got to keep practicing on these. This is East Coast number 3. But I have a nicer one coming in the mail tomorrow. And there's the removed trunk slick from last night. Took me about 3 hours. As I'm getting older, I gotta keep my practice going on these butcher covers. You don't want to lose that touch.
Or what?
Remember, we're going to give away. I'm at 1,860 subscribers. Got 140 more to go before I'm at 2,000. If somebody else pushes me like Bob Bradley did, I'll probably get there before Rachel Ghost's interview next Wednesday. It'd be pretty cool to give it away during that interview. And we need to show that. If you need to get a hold of me, there's quite a few people have reached out to me through this Yahoo email address in the last week. Mr. _, it's a big M and a small R, That's not showing very right. STICKERMANIA@yahoo.com. I think a little Beatles Corner Patricia needs that. Let's show it one more time. She needs to reach out to me, something about Polly. But Patricia, try to reach out to me through this email, and I'll try to help you out, whatever you're trying to do there with Polly.
Now can I put it away?
Yeah, Polly's one of my best buyers. So this is another one. This is a West Coast with a real difficult glue on that I practiced on, and I'll tell a little story about the auction in the ballroom. Mr. Mark Lapidos and Frank, what's his last name? Fon, the Beatles channel man. Fon, I'm not gonna come up with it right.
Fontaine.
Fontaine.
No, I can't. Fontaine.
I'm not gonna find it right away.
Here, let me see it.
Funnel.
But anyway, they had a butcher cover in the auction, and they pulled it up ready to start the auction, and they said, well, you can come and look at it. So I'm the only one that goes up and looks at it. And I said, can I take this out of the plastic sleeve so I can see if it's the East Coast or West Coast? And
Frangigen, or whatever the Frangigen.
Frangione.
Fringing.
He says, well, there's one in every crowd. When I asked that question, because I kind of interrupt the whole auction, he said, yeah, you can look. So I pulled it up, and it was a number 6 West Coast. And Mr. Mark Lapido said, is that good or bad? And I said, that is, or is that better or worse? And I said, probably worse, because it has a real strong glue. It still went for $525. It was like halfway peeled. But if it would have been an East Coast, I would have bought it for $700 or something and finished it up. All right, butcher covers. Any other?
About the guy coming up and talking to you about it afterwards.
Yeah, in the ballroom.
Yeah.
Can I say this comment real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Shane Rocky said thanks to Bob Bradley for the channel recommendation.
Yeah, Bob Bradley, you really helped us out, and we appreciate it. You got a lot of people that noticed my channel that never noticed it before.
And Polly Huet said, hi Stickermania family, thanks Polly.
How you doing, Polly? Thanks for all your support on my eBay channel. We got to figure out this thing with Patricia from Little Beatles Corner. All right, so that's it on the butchers. Let's show some Led Zeppelin.
Do that another comment.
Tim Furlong said, Bob Bradley turned me on to you. We'll definitely make you a regular.
All right, Tim, are you the one that bought Led Zeppelin 1 today from me on eBay? A UK 6 pressing, laminated cover. Tim bought this today for $144. He's
Yes.
going to meet me in Louisville tomorrow to pick this up before he goes out of town.
They did buy it.
All right. Real nice pressing of Led Zeppelin 1 from England.
Bob Bradley is so nice.
A 6 pressing. Led Zeppelin 2. I don't think this is $144 Led Zeppelin 2. This is a RLSS Monarch pressing. Mostly in the shrink with the hype sticker for a whole lot of love affixed to the shrink. And the title on the back affixed to the shrink. Hard to get this gatefold cover still in the shrink.
I agree.
And it's got a very good plus record with the Monarch pressing RLSS on both sides. And I was testing out my speakers today on Whole Lot of Love and Ramble On. And it sure sounded pretty damn good. That's the original 1969 Atco inner sleeve. little thing about Atlantic Records. They had Chapel Roan about 7-8 years ago, signed her up. And then a few years back during the COVID, they dropped her because she wasn't selling enough. And then Sony Music picked her up. And you might have made a big plus on this, Atlantic Records, but you made a big minus of letting Chapel Roan go from your record label.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Sony Music is pushing her with all their
Thank you.
might.
You can wash your hands.
Shit.
I didn't sneeze on my
Led
hands.
Zeppelin 3 in the Shrink with a rare hype sticker for Immigrant Song. Only the third time I've ever had this album that has the hype sticker for Immigrant Song. The title is missing part of the sticker there. Tough to get this cover, gatefold cover, also in the Shrink. And we got a House of the Holy. House of the Holy in the Shrink. This is the one that was politically correct and had the OBI on there, but it's a first pressing RL, Robert Ludwig, and it's got the titles sticker there on the top. And my favorite song on this album has got to be Ta Ta Ta.
Thank you, Brad and Tim.
Over the hills and far away.
They said bless you. I said thank you.
Thank you, Brad Parnell. Is that the one I said?
Brad and Tim.
Hello.
From
Led Zeppelin, I think that is it on Led Zeppelin. Let's talk about Rolling Stones a minute, and then we'll go back to the Beatles.
okay.
When I bought all those albums in the Shrink from a seller on eBay, they had this. They showed me a bunch of albums in the Shrink, and I had to get this one with the rare Honky Tonk Women on the Octagon cover from 1969. That ties in with my little mini record player. Even though it's a different album. Give me Let It Bleed.
I want to see Cops and Robbers.
Cops and Robbers. Don't know much about this, but I thought it was pretty unique. It says special radio station advanced promotional record. They only made 100 of them, and this is number 78. It's got Memphis, Tennessee, Rollover Beethoven, Cops and Robbers, and Fannie Mae.
Cool.
Underground, it looks like to me. It's only rock and roll by King Kong. That's a pretty cool label, though.
I agree.
Cops and Robbers. That's the Rolling Stones at the very beginning on the BBC 1963 Saturday Club. That's a 1964 Cops and Robbers, and Fannie Mae is from 1965 on the BBC. Any more Rolling Stones to show? Talked about the aftermath. And you can't, got some promo 45s. So you got the Santanic Majestics Request with the 3D cover from 1967. And the single that came off of it was She's a Rainbow. And this is a promo of She's a Rainbow with the orange label.
Did you tell them where you got the shirt from?
This shirt came from Mikey Arugula, because I was on the, it says there, I was on, Mike, didn't I say something about I was on Mikey's?
I was a guest on Rare Beatles Collecting with Mikey Orko.
Yeah.
I have one too. I just forgot it because I had to work.
Read the Brad Parnell real quick.
My phone's turned off. Brad Parnell said, I saw you had one of those Stones albums at the Louisville Antique in Suleiman. I was there while you were in Chicago.
All right. I sold some. I gotta go out there and take some more stuff out there. I think they say I'm up to $200 there. This is a 1964 original promo for one of their first songs, Tell Me You're Coming Back, with I Just Want to Make Love to You on the B-side. It's got a little handwritten by the DJ. It says August of 1964. That's when the Rolling Stones were only playing to about 700 people for a concert, like at Dayton Hare Arena before Satisfaction was released. Then all bets were off once Satisfaction came out.
Yuppity yup.
Here it is, original picture sleeve for Satisfaction. And the promo record for Satisfaction, and on the back, the Under Assistant West Coast Promotional Man. That's a pretty cool song, that B-side, if you listen to it a few times. All right, let's put I think that's about it on the Rolling Stones segment. Any questions on the Rolling Stones before I put all this away?
Are they your third favorite or second?
What is it?
Are they your third or second favorite?
Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones would be, I'd say Rolling Stones is second.
Okay.
All right, back into some rare Beatles.
Everyone like and subscribe and hit the notification link for a giveaway at 2,000.
2,000, we're 140 away. Can we make it in 1 week? I think we had, the last month we had 150 new subscribers. I got this Subway poster in and I haven't put up for sale. It is big. George Harrison. See if we can open it up.
Hey, my gosh.
I don't know if this was on made for Tower Records or what, but
Let's get make sure that it's in the go behind the camera.
it's about 4x4.
You can see the face.
Pretty cool picture of George Harrison.
Angle it down a little. Put it at an angle.
Okay, you can see the whole thing.
Can you see it on there?
Yeah.
It rolls in here. You like that promo poster for George Harrison? 4x4 in size. That's the only new posters I got right now. We're gonna show the Sgt. Pepper one more time.
Oh, shoot.
1987, 20th anniversary in Canada. 3D poster of Sgt. Pepper that was in a few big record stores in Canada. Wasn't made for the United States. 3D, you got the drums, the Beatles, and the background behind them. Elvis is cut out over there.
Is that Cat in the Hat?
No, you got it. That's it. You got it.
I got it.
Alright. Alright, go ahead.
Beatles, butcher covers we did. Remco dolls, sold today. Hard body Remco dolls. $299. Hard to get the whole set of the hard body dolls that don't have any printing on the bottom. And they're sharp.
Can I make them dance?
They'll last a lot longer than the soft bodies. Just be careful. And my Mexican buyers are interested in this flyer for the Remco dolls. Original flyer, Beatles official Beatle dolls. They got a want list of about 6 of my eBay items, and this is one of them. They want me to make a bundle deal for them. All right, Remco dolls are going away.
No.
Don't do a Beatle babe and make them kiss now.
They're gonna be best friends.
Got these in today, these big lobby cards, 11 by 14. This is a Go-Go Beat, and that's a picture of the animals. And of course, it says featuring mods and rockers with music by the Beatles. 14 top bands, 28 hit tunes. Each group does 2 songs. Got a go-go dancer on there. This is original. You can tell by the coloring or the age. This is a 1982 when they re-released Hard Day's Night to the movie theaters. And this is a lobby card from 1982 for Hard Day's Night. And I'm thinking this is a reproduction of an original, but I haven't looked enough into it. It has the right date and national screen. It looks too white on the back to be original. So it's probably a reproduction.
Brad Parnell said, looks like the cover of 1979 self-titled album with the hit Blow Away.
Talking about the George Harrison.
Blow Away, yeah. I think you're correct. Thanks. Thanks, Brad. Beatles, 7 inches, 7-inch records. I showed the Can't Buy Me Love last time. Gonna be, instead of having Perry Cox sell this for me, I think I'm gonna try to sell it for myself. Daniel doesn't think I can get $2,500 for it in near mint, but I think I can. I thought I had a flaw down here on this, on these corners, but somebody pointed out that was the way the factory made them. And so there's just a little bit of wear, but other than that, it's a near mint picture sleeve on both sides and an unplayed record. And with all the arguments that's been coming in, this is the rarest, most valuable stock picture sleeve of the Beatles released in America. There's one from Canada of All My Lovin'. There's only a few exist, it's worth more. And there's some promo picture sleeves that are worth more in America, but this is a stock copy that's worth quite a bit.
Daniel Castillo said, those Mexican buyers were trying to get a deal on the 45.
They bought, had a Love Me Do, very first pressing from Canada in excellent condition with no dash in the matrix. And I had a date from a Woolworth store of February 5th of 1963. So that means that that record was bought in a record store in Canada 2 days before Please Please Me was released on VJ in America. So it was the very first record to ever have the Beatles on the label in North America. And my Mexico buyers bought it for $1,000. It took some talking for me to explain it, but then they finally realized how rare it was. It even had a COA from Perry Cox, and they love those COAs from Perry Cox. Hi Frank, it's Marvin. This is my eBay account. Great meeting you at the fest. I'm so stoked that you're following my page. Hope I see you again and hope to purchase something from you. Shout out to Marvin. You may not be watching this now, but maybe you'll watch the rerun of the live stream. Got this next 1964 rare picture sleeve of Y. It's harder to find than the My Bonnie green sleeve. And it's got a pretty nice record of Y. And what's the only song that John Lennon and George Harrison wrote together? That's your trivia question for tonight. It's on this B-side. They only wrote one song together in their whole Beatles career.
Can't Buy Me Love.
No.
Dang it.
What Brad said?
Brad Parnell said Cry for a Shadow.
That is it. Brad, you're good.
That's what I said.
You said Can't Buy Me Love.
Caesar.
Caesar?
Caesar said hello, Stickermania family.
How you doing, Caesar? Haven't heard from you in a while. From the Joe Hilton, that's where I got that Canada Love Me Do. I got this excellent condition 4x4 of the Beatles. That they released 2 extended play records in the United States in 1964 with a cardboard sleeve. They usually show all kinds of rub wear there, but this one is excellent condition with no seam splits. It's up for sale on my eBay store at $288.
I gotta put the dolls away.
I put the dolls away, didn't I?
You've been playing with them this whole time, you ain't noticed?
Here's the rarest picture sleeve of a solo that I know of Mother by John Lennon. The last one I had of these sold for $333. Got Mother on the A side and Y by Yoko Ono on the B side. That is all my rare picture sleeves I got from Joe Hilton. Sergeant Pepper and Abbey Road. We forgot to show that Michael Jackson box set. Let's show that real quick. Polly bought this right away when I listed it on eBay within the first couple hours. 1995, factory sealed. Michael Jackson History has 3 albums in it and a 52-page colored booklet. I've never seen it before, but I got a hold of it in a lot of albums. Sold for $299 today. It was only $32.98 or $26.38 in 1995. New in the store.
Cool.
Sergeant Pepper. Why are these Remco dolls up here?
Because you never took them. That's what he just said.
Let's show the Badfinger and the Denny Laine behind you first. I'll close out with
Did
Beatles.
you do the Daniel Castillo comment?
Those, that whole stack. Give me the rest of them, please.
Did you do Daniel?
No, he just said it. Daniel Castillo said Mother is the sad song.
Sad song, yep, it sure is. Mother, Father. Yeah, that's when John Lennon was going through his primal scream. All right, we got all these Denny Laine signed albums and a lot I bought on online, and I got 2 Joey Malone signed Badfinger. I got the Magic Christian Music signed by Joey Malone and the Ass, the last album that was on Apple Records from Badfinger. Ass, signed by Joey Malone. Real nice signature on the top.
The name is Ass.
I got all these Denny Laine signed albums. The great legend of Denny Laine, no longer with us. No, Brad Parnell, I'm not going to play Go Now right now.
Who wants an Ass record?
I got, starting off in the order, we got Wings Wildlife signed. We got Band on the Run. Look how he signed it right there at the bottom where you could see it. And there's Denny Laine about ready to fall over for being too drunk. I think Linda's holding on to him to keep him from falling.
You got some comments.
All right, go ahead.
Daniel Castillo said, McCartney said Lennon had a lot of built-up feelings and he expressed it through music.
Yeah.
And Mr. Mayo said, hey, Frank.
All right, how you doing, Joe? Thanks for checking in. This is late for you.
Explanation point.
Joe doesn't sleep much. I don't know if I could get by sleeping as little as Joe sleeps.
I probably couldn't.
You were pretty tired when we saw it sitting down chatting with you Friday night, but that's because you got up at 4 in the morning to catch that plane. They're in Chicago.
I
I thought it was pretty cool. Joe had a little short video where he's walking through the hotel and he sees Mickey Dolenz sitting down there eating at the cafe, and he doesn't bother him because Mickey is eating. But my story, Joe, is I saw him walking through the hotel with the lady helping him, and he was gingerly walking like an older gentleman would, being real careful. But I'm telling you, when he got on stage and sang Rocky Raccoon and Oh Darling, it was just pure amazing, I thought. Especially the Oh Darling, the way he was hitting those high notes with the band Liverpool.
I disagree. No, I'm just fine.
Venus and Mars, signed by Denny Laine, and the only light spot there they could where the moon is. Well, that's not the moon. You have to correct me. Somebody had a shirt at the Beatle Fest, at the Fest for Beatle Fans. It was a promotional shirt for Venus and Mars, and on the back it says, "It's all about the balls." Thought that was a pretty cool shirt. That was in the auction. I didn't win that. I think it went for like $150.
Me and Mr. Mayo said it was great meeting you, but I wish I had recorded a video.
I know. We missed out on that. I saw you come into the collector's panel, and we wanted to see it, but I had to get the kids back, and Mikey Rugolo had to catch a plane, so we couldn't stick around for the collector's panel. Sorry. Boy, that collector's panel, there was only a few of us in the Kit O'Toole and Ed Sheeran, where they were talking about the release or the Beatles performing in Chicago. And then towards that end of that hour, people just started pouring into that room for the collector's panel. It must have been packed. Here's your mobile there, Joe Mayo. Wing Speed of Sound. I think that's the one you got a mobile that you showed. This is pretty cool. Signed on the top by Denny Laine. London Town. Denny Laine's signature. One of Denny Laine's solo albums. Master Suite. I'm sure Joe Mayo's probably got some Denny Laine autographs.
Brad Parnell said, several years ago when I went down to the Monkees on their 50th anniversary tour, we saw Mickey walking down the street as we were pulling into the parking lot.
Yeah, Joe Mayo was a little upset that he didn't do Monkey songs, but it was right in the program that he was not going to perform Monkey songs, and he did do that. I saw him singing Johnny Be Good, and I guess he did another oldie that Joe talked about the night before, and I can't remember what it was.
Me and Mr. Mayo said, good crowd.
And we got a Holidays signed by Denny Laine with the Denny Laine at the Scotland home of Paul McCartney riding a horse. You know who's helping do most of these songs on this album? It is Paul McCartney and Linda. It's a pretty good album. You want to hear Buddy Holly songs. Oh, that reminds me, Chapel Roan, when she was starting out, she's about 17, she did an acoustic version of Yesterday. You need to pull it up. It's a terrific version of Yesterday by the Beatles.
I don't know what that is.
Yesterday?
I'm just playing.
I
It's a
played
joke.
it for you once.
It's a joke. Me and Mr. Mayo said I got to see him do Monkey Song at NY Fest in February.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the last time, one of the last times he probably do Monkey songs. I guess he's kind of refusing to do them anymore. That's a shame, but I understand. But he must really practice those, the Rocky Raccoon and Oh Darling, because he hits the notes and he must really work at his voice like Mick Jagger does. But I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for Paul McCartney on his tour to have a few guest artists like Mickey Dolenz and Chrissy Hine and who's the Nirvana guy that he likes so much? Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl could come out and sing Helter Skelter. All right, where are we at on time?
It is 11:55 p.m.
We got 5 more minutes to go. What have I not shown?
You haven't shown that.
We got a Die Beatles to show, a Rock and Roll Music Sealed, Anthology 3, and a Beatles for Sale, sealed with a gold sticker import from Australia with a unique cover. Beatles for Sale. I was playing an open copy of this today, and Joe Mayo's right. I'll Be Back is not on this album. But boy, it starts off with No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black. What a start for a great album.
Like,
And this is the UK pressing from the mid 70s, -1. That's the way you want to hear Beatles for Sale in stereo. Then we go to 1976. This gold foil album is real tough to get because once that shrink comes off, it shows wear really quick. This has both hype stickers, the best of the Beatles rock and roll music, and it says certified the great music ever sold, best of album. This is a remix by George Martin where he puts the vocals a little bit more towards the center. It's a pretty unique way of hearing the Beatles doing the rock and roll covers and their own original versions too. Then we got the second best audiophile pressing in the world. And I heard Mickey Arugula snapped up a Magical Mystery Tour thanks to me recommending it from Germany today. A 1977 -1, -3 true stereo, where if you play the side 2, like John Hood said, you fall off your chair. You never heard those Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane in that kind of clarity before. Psychedelic album to the most. But this is a real rock and roll album from Please Please Me, where they had the master tapes sent over from Abbey Road, a direct copy, and they cut it with hardly any reverb or compression. And it's just amazing pressing of the Beatles' first album of Please Please Me. It's a shame that they didn't figure that out in the United Kingdom. Great way to hear that first album.
you got comments.
From the Beatles. I played Twist and Shout today, and I saw her standing there on my new clip speakers, and it was pretty rock and roll all the way.
You got comments.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, one more, then I'm done. And I got a Beatles Anthology 3 today. The key on Anthology 3 is to get it where it says printed in the UK on the back. Let me show you that. Such much better pressings than USA. This one's covered up, but it says right here, made in England. Great way to hear Anthology 3. And the rumor is that they're going to be a new 30th anniversary set of anthologies coming out this year. I wonder if they're going to put out a new Blu-ray of the video. All right, that's my show and tell.
Do the comments real quick.
We're doing comments to finish this out.
Brad Parnell said, when I saw the Monkees, it was just 3 years before Peter died. You need to take very chance you can see all our rock heroes. Well, you can.
Yes, you're correct. Paul McCartney on his tour over there in England. Who knows? It could be the last time. Better go see him.
Joseph Mantino said, hello, Stickermania and family.
How you doing, Joseph Mantino? You're one of our best. You're always messaging in our live streams. We appreciate it.
Me and Mr. Mayo said, beautiful stuff, and hi, Travis.
Yep, Mr. Mayo, or Joe Mayo, we appreciate you checking out our videos, and I guess you watched me peeling a butcher cover. Hopefully you watched part 2 where I complete it, because at the end of part 1 it looks like I messed it up. But I have to get that last layer off on part 2 where I turn that stereo butcher cover into a $2,700, it's $2,750 I sold that for.
Say hi.
Oh, what's up? How you doing, Joe? Hopefully you're doing well.
Hope you're getting better off of your cold that you got from Chicago. I agree with you. I had to keep turning that air conditioning down in the room because when I got in there it was 63 degrees in the room and I was freezing. and I turned it up to 72, but it still showed 68. But you're right, the whole hotel was pretty darn cold.
Daniel Castillo said, I saw Larry interviewing the Beatles in 1960, and surprisingly, some things discussed are relevant today.
Who interviewed him?
Daniel Castillo said, I saw Larry interviewing the Beatles in 1960, and surprisingly, some things discussed.
Wait, I need to see that. I don't understand this at all. You're just reading.
I saw
Larry interviewing the Beatles in 1968. Surprisingly, some things discussed are relevant today. He must be Larry Kane. I think that's who you're talking about. He interviewed the Beatles a lot.
Joseph Mantino said, I'm glad you and your family got to go up to the fest, and I am doing good.
Yep, we're doing good. What decade did the Rolling Stones record player come from? Kevin Kyler. I think it's a 1969 promo piece, but you're kind of disagreeing with me. Let's go out with this.
Hold on, do the me and Mr. Mayo question real quick.
And they can go out with that. Me and Mr. Mayo said, how often are you on live? Every Wednesday and
Twice a week.
Saturday.
11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays and Saturdays. But next Wednesday, I'm doing Rachel's Ghost Beatles Memorabilia Roundtable with Mikey Arugula and me and Rachel's Ghost. Should be a barn burner, like Rachel says. So, Kevin Kyler. This has got to be an original piece. I don't know if it's played in Mexico in a record store in 1969, but look at that little record. That's the way. It's got the Rolling Stones and pictures of all the Rolling Stones on that little mini record. And here we go. Let's see if we can play 30 seconds of this, and then we're done from
Did you
Louisville.
say what decade it came from?
I think it's 1969.
Hold on real quick. Daniel said Larry Kane asked them about the immigration in the UK. Paul said a civil war was imminent. That's what he's talking
That's
about.
what's relevant today. You're correct. We don't get into political stuff too much here, Daniel. I'll leave that for Rachel's Ghost. Boy, I turned in this morning and Mazzy and the Wax and Rachel, they're just cussing at each other, and it's like, wow. All right, here we go. Let's play 30 seconds of this, and then we're done from Louisville this week. Hopefully you like this. Here we go. It says, try me. You got to push this little button. Does it show up right here? Do I need to put it on something? Just hold on to it?
Need to hold it, yeah.
Here we go. Now watch me not get it to work. Is that okay? Give me shelter. We better talk over it. I think that's pretty unique. The record's not actually playing. There must be a little micro cassette player in there. All right, thanks a lot from Louisville, and we'll see you next Wednesday on Rachel's Ghost.
No, next Saturday.
Next Wednesday.
No, we have a live stream Saturday.
Oh yeah, we got a live stream coming up Saturday before. Sorry, the next live stream is what date?
Saturday. What's today?
All right, well, we better end this. See you later.
19th or 18th.